honestly, it's interesting to see kind of when you're talking about the victories, right? Talking about who are so good, the teams that are so good, one of which I'm wearing their jacket right now, the Celtics. They are so good. And also the Bruins. The Celtics and the Bruins have just been on a tear the last two seasons, including this one, not 2 years ago, last season and this season. And what I mean by that is if you were watching the CBS football game on Sunday, you probably came across this stat. The total win percentage since 2022 through 2023 in all four major sports. Now, this is a stat. When you talk about win percentage, it's so easy for all five teams to be NFL teams because, let's face it, you're only playing a certain amount of games, and the best teams are always have 2, 3, at most 4 losses in a season. And so when you see two teams that's number 2 with 730 that have played 82 games in a season, as well as another team that has a 717 win percentage that has also played 82 games in a regular season on top of what has been played so far this season, I was in shock seeing this. And again, I wasn't necessarily massively in shock, but I was, happily surprised to see how well, again, just from a statistical standpoint, both these teams are doing now. As we all know, the Bruins and Celtics broke our hearts last season during the playoffs. Bruins fell apart after leading the Panthers 3-1, and the Celtics, fell down 3-0 against the Heat. Somehow, some way, forced a Game 7, but then Tatum rolls his ankle and completely blows it. So I just thought that was a cool little stat, something that you guys would enjoy. But getting back to it, I want to start off with the Bruins because as it stands right now, they have a 5-game win streak. They defeated the top-ranked defensive team in the Central Division. Well, actually, they have the top defensive team in the NHL and also the top team in the Central Division in the Winnipeg Jets. Beat them 4-1. I love that game because it felt like a real playoff atmosphere, and the Bruins were up 2-1 after 2 and somehow didn't collapse. They didn't, fall flat on their face like they've done time and time again. It was exciting. It was a hell of a game. Jake DeBrusk helped put the Bruins up 3-1, and then Marchand hit the empty netter, making it a 4-1 final. Now, this game, again, against the top defensive team in the NHL, it stopped the Jets' streak from allowing 2 goals or fewer through 14 games, as well as 3 goals or fewer dating back for 34 games. So these guys keep the opponent low. And the thing I hate about the second one, the 3 or fewer, is the fact that, again, the 4th goal did come on an empty net. So truly, can we say that, technically, yes, they did snap the streak, but come on. It was an empty net goal. They technically didn't allow it because, their extra man wasn't in net. So, I don't know. I liked it. But Swayman, I killed it. The dude was just lights out. He, again, is showing me time and time and time again that you give this man the net. You make him the number 1 goaltender. I promise you. He is that dude. And he showed it. He stopped 20 and 21 shots and is now 15-3-7 on the season. there was an onslaught and early on in that third period where he was making some unbelievable saves, and I loved every second of it. I thought he was definitely a guy, which still pisses me off that the Bruins sent to arbitration. And again, if you have to put everything into perspective, I think I can do that, is the fact that I think, the salary cap and the NHL teams signed away their future. The elite teams signed away their future due to the fact that the salary cap couldn't rise like it normally does due to the fact that the money was being allocated very differently, and that was an issue. But Jeremy Swayman is still a Bruin for now. Hopefully he will be at the start of next season because he is a free agent. But the dude is your number one goaltender. Stop with this back and forth nonsense. Jeremy Swayman needs to be the number one, especially come playoff time. If Linus Ullmark gets to start for game one, that's going to really piss me off. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Bruins just collapse again. They're going to screw it all up again if Linus Ullmark is their number one goaltender come playoffs. I know they're talking about, we're just going to rotate. You're not going to do that. That's stupid. If you're going to take away a hot goaltender just because you want to rotate in the playoffs where you need to win every game, dumb. I like Charlie Coyle. The dude has scored a career high in Boston. He is a higher goal total while in Minnesota, but in his time in Boston, he has scored a career high 17 against Winnipeg. And he's really been stepping up. I thought that Charlie Coyle was best as a third line center. He was big enough, strong enough, and skilled enough to defeat other third lines. But the fact that he's done as well as he has, playing on, flirting between first and second line, just being a top six centerman, he's really impressed me with the absence of Bergeron and Krejci. Also, nice little note, Jake DeBrusk, 14 games, the last 14 straight games. He has 8 goals, 6 assists, and 14 points. He's a point per game guy. Nice, right? Guess what? Ship him out of here. Him and Ullmark, package deal. Get Elias Lindholm. Get Noah Hannafin. Get guys that are not only top 6, but top line center and a top 2 D pairing. You're going to have to shell out a little bit more money, but get them out of here because Jake DeBrusk is hot right now, and trade him while he's hot. I said it about Ullmark coming into this season. I wanted to trade him all offseason because I thought that was going to be his best year. He wasn't going to play any better than that, and his stock market, his value could not get any higher. And I believe it has definitely come down during this season, but that's a problem. Next, so I want the two of them out of here. Make Swayman the number one guy. Get guys worth the value that you can get for DeBrusk being the goal scorer that he is. And maybe, hey, you know what? You can get 2 for the price of 1, right? Get a top 3, maybe a top pairing or a top 6 centerman, as well as a top 2 defenseman. Fingers crossed. But the next stretch is not going to be easy. We're really going to find out a lot about this Bruins team, especially with, obviously, the All-Star break, coming just around the corner. They are playing Carolina as we speak. The game started at 7:30. So they are playing the Hurricanes as we speak, as well as going to be in Philly on Saturday. And then they are home against Calgary, Vancouver, Washington, Tampa, Seattle, LA, and Dallas. So we're really going to find out what this team is made of over the next several weeks. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. And for those of you who don't know, Bergeron, there were rumors of him making his grand return sometime in March. He's been skating recently. He's staying fit. He's apparently looking good, according to a couple of the Spittin' Chicklets guys, Ryan Whitney, from Barstool. They were talking about all the rumors, but Patrice said in a text with Boston Herald Steve Conroy, quote, "I am," all caps, "not making a comeback." That sucks. Actually, it doesn't suck. I'm actually glad, honestly, because one of the things that's been a problem with the Bruins is their, I want to call it loyalty. That's partially it, but again, just bringing back guys, trying to bring the band back together. I thought with Krejci coming back last season, I thought it was just going to be, a run of the mill. I didn't expect much to come of it. Of course, they have the best season in NHL history, blah, blah, blah. But, the other thing, too, with their soft spots for Cam Neely and Don Sweeney and, we have to get rid of Bruce Cassidy because Jake DeBrusk cried. Yes, that's part of the reason why I want DeBrusk gone, is because he cried and they decided to stay with the player over the coach. And then what did the coach do? He goes to Vegas and wins the Stanley Cup. And if you were smart enough, he would have won it against you. It would have been great. But no. So that's an issue. And that's why I, don't like the idea of Bergeron coming back while he might play a few extra games, or not play a few extra games, but while he might finish out the season again. How long is it going to take him to get his sea legs under him? How long is he going to be able to, skate with the rest of the NHL? Can he? Is he too old? There's a million questions. He said he's not. I'm taking him at his word. No Bergeron. Sorry, but, it's tough. It's tough.